Hi, we are looking forward to talk with you today. I'd like to quickly introduce you our group presentation in HRM. Performance Management System is a systematic process by which the Department of Commerce involves its employees as individuals and members of a group in improving organizational effectiveness in the accomplishment of agency, mission, and goals. The main objective for performance management system aims at building a high performance culture for both the individuals and the team so that they jointly take the responsibility of improving the business processes on a continuous basis, at the same time raise the competence bar by upgrading their own skills with leadership framework. Some of the major objectives of performance management are discussed below. First, to enable the employees towards achievement of superior standards of work performance. Second, identifying the barriers to effective performance and resolving those barriers through constant monitoring, coaching, and development interventions. Promoting personal growth and advancement in the career of the employees by helping them in acquiring the desired knowledge and skills. Sales quota. These systems can work very well when employees know what is expected of them and are highly motivated to achieve the standard. Competency-based system refers to a system of instruction, assessment, grading, and academic reporting that are based on students demonstrating that they have learned the knowledge and skills they are expected to learn as they progress through their education. Performance management and EEO, or equal employment opportunity, means freedom from discrimination on the basis of protected classes such as race, color, sex, national origin, religion, age, disability, or genetic information. EEO is important because it sets the baseline for how people should treat each other at work, but really it is up to each employer to create a culture that doesn't accept any kind of discriminatory behavior. EEO objectives. The purpose of equal employment opportunity, or EEO, is to ensure fairness in hiring, promotion, and other workplace practices. Seminars. Events sponsored by businesses or corporations with the intention of circulating knowledge, new techniques, or new practices to their employees. Seminars should not be confused with workshops. Workshops tend to be more hands-on, while seminars are generally geared more toward learning about a particular topic or related subtopics. Shadowing and mentoring. Shadowing gives you the opportunity to learn about a career that interests you by accompanying a professional through a typical workday.
And now we're going to discuss the appraisal process as a way to focus communication on how effectively an employee's effort helps to accomplish organizational objective. It starts with a well-designed job and clearly communicated performance standards in Exhibit 10. Results and recognition of effort, or assisting the employee to redirect effort in more efficient ways to achieve the objectives. First step, establish performance standards. Appraisal process begins with establishment of performance standards in accordance with the organization's strategic goals. Second step, communicate expectation. It is necessary to communicate this expectation. Employees should not have to guess what is expected of them. This starts with initial job training and should be revisited frequently if quality production or serve is expected. Third step, measure actual performance. We need to determine what should be measured and how it should be measured. There are 4 common sources of information used by managers address how to measure actual performance. 1. Personal observation. 2. Statistical reports. 3. Oral reports. 4. Written reports. Fourth step, compare actual performance with standards. It should also include a list and explanation of the performance standard. also include an explanation of the different level of performance and their degree of acceptability against the performance standards. Fifth step, discuss the appraisal with the employee. One of the most challenging tasks because it can touch one of the most emotionally charged activities, evaluation of another individual's contribution and ability. Sixth step, initiative corrective action if necessary. There are two types of corrective actions. One, immediate action. It corrects problems such as mistakes in procedure and faulty training and gets the employee back on track right away. 2. Basic action. Ask how and why performance deviated from the expected performance standards and provides training or employee development activities to improve performance. Move on to appraisal method. 1. Absolute standards. Employees are compared to a standard and their evaluation is independent of any other employee in a work group. This includes critical incident appraisal that focuses the rater's attention on critical key behavior that make difference between doing a job effectively and doing it ineffectively. 2. Checklist appraisal. The evaluator uses a list of behavioral descriptions and check off behavior that apply to the employee. The employee answers yes or no, and once the checklist is complete, it is evaluated by the HRM staff. 4. Graphic rating scale. Oldest and most popular methods of appraisal. Rating scale can be used to assess factors such as quantity and quality of work, job knowledge, cooperation, loyalty, dependability, attendance, honesty, integrity, attitude, and initiative. 5. Forced choice is a type of checklist where the rater must choose between two or more statements. This may be favorable or unfavorable. 6. Behaviorally anchored rating. The appraisers rate the employee based on items along a continuum, but points are example of actual behavior in the given job rather than general description or trait. Number 2. Relative standards. This includes group order ranking, requires evaluator to place employee into a particular classification such as the top 20%. Number 2. Individual ranking. Require the evaluator to list employee in order from highest to lowest. In this process, one employee can be rated best. 3. Paired comparison. Selects one job traits and then compare each employee in a group with the other. 3. Outcome standards. Employees are evaluated on how well they accomplish of a specific set of objectives determined as a critical in the successful completion of their job. It is also commonly referred to as management by objective. Common elements in MBO program. 1. Specific goals. The objective should be concise statement of expected accomplish. 2. Participative decision making. MBO objectives are not unilaterally set by the boss and assigned to employee as is characteristics of traditional objective settings. Rather, MBO replace imposed goals with participative goal settings. The manager and the employee jointly choose the goals and agree on how they will be achieved. 3. Performance feedback. Ideally, ongoing feedback allows individuals to monitor and correct their own actions.
Factors that can distort appraisals. The appraisals process can be distorted by many factors, leaving the resulting appraisals meaningless. Leniency error. Performance appraisals distortion caused by evaluating employees against one's own value system. Halo error. The tendency to let our assessment of an individual on one trait influence our evaluation of that person on other specific traits. Similarity error. Evaluating employees based on the way an evaluator perceives himself or herself. Low appraiser motivation. If the evaluators know that a poor appraisal could significantly hurt employees' future particularly if opportunities for promotion, the evaluator may be reluctant to give realistic appraisal. Central tendency. The tendency of evaluator to give average ratings, evaluators are often reluctant to use the extreme end of rating scale, effectively reducing the range of ratings and accurate inflationary pressures. Poorly trained evaluators may worry about hurting the feelings of employees that expect to be above average or peer retribution from disgruntled employees who fail to achieve excellent appraisals. Inappropriate substitute for performance. Currently assessing a worker's performance is rare. It is hard to find consensus on what is good job, and it is even more difficult to produce agreement on what criteria determine performance. Attribution theory, a theory of performance evaluation based on the perception of who is in control of an employee's performance. Evaluators need to be aware of the factors that can cause problems with the process and take care to eliminate their influence. Creating more effective performance management system. The fact that evaluators frequently encounter problems with performance appraisals should not lead us to throw up our hands and abandon the concept. Creating more effective performance management systems. In this section, we offer suggestions to be considered individually or in combination. Use behavior-based measures. The evidence favors behavior-based measures over those developed around traits. Traits such as loyalty, initiative, courage, reliability, and self-expression are initially desirable in employees. A major drawback to individual or absolute standard is that they tend to be biased by positive leniency, meaning that evaluators tend to pack their subjects into the high part of the rankings. Provide ongoing feedback. Providing the employee with repeated opportunities to discuss performance before any reward or punishment consequences occur will eliminate surprises at the formal annual review. Use multiple raters. By moving employees about within the organization to add evaluations, we increase the probability of achieving more valid and reliable evaluations as well as helping support needed changes. Rate selectively. The specific application of these concepts make immediate supervisor or coworkers the major input into the appraisal and lets them evaluate factors they are best qualified to judge. Train appraisers. If we cannot find good raters, the alternative is to develop good raters. Evidence indicates that training appraisers can make them more accurate raters. A successful performance management system requires attention to many important factors. The performance appraisal meeting. Managers should prepare for and schedule the appraisal in advance. Explaining the purpose of the meeting in advance creates a supportive environment and puts employees at ease. By describing the purpose of the appraisal to employees, they will know precisely how the appraisal will be used. Self-evaluation. It is important to involve the employee in the appraisal discussion, including a self-evaluation. The focus of the discussion should be on work behaviors and not on the employee. The evaluation should be supported with examples, but positive and negative feedback should be given. Evaluators should be ensured that employees understand what was discussed in the appraisals. A development plan should be generated. Most of the performance appraisals revolves around feedback and documentation. The International Performance Appraisal, Performance Evaluation. Cultural values such as the degree to which the culture emphasizes collectivism over individualism, harmony over conflict saying choose, and how the power distance between manager and worker is viewed must be considered when developing a performance appraisal workers. Evaluation of the work group or division may be a better choice. When developing a system for appraisal of employees in international units, HRM has three basic choices. Export the performance management system of the home country, develop unique performance management system so that each foreign unit has a unit cultural fit, or integrate the home country system with local culture to create a hybrid system. When deciding how to adapt the performance management system, HRM needs to balance integrating the organizational strategic mission. And coordination of workforce, alignment, organizational development, and employee development with sensitivity to building relationships in the local cultural context. Who performs the evaluation? Companies must also consider who will be responsible for the process, the host country management or the parent country management. Disgrace to ask employees for ideas, smiling or maintaining eye contact, strange or inappropriate. The way a performance appraisal form is constructed may also need to be adjusted. Also, home office management may be so remote that it may not be fully informed about what is going in an overseas office. Home office managements often measure performance by quantitative measures, profits, market shares, gross sales. However, simple numbers are often quite complex in their calculations and data are not always comparable. For example, local import tariffs can distort pricing schedules which alter gross sales figures as a statistic often used when evaluating performance. Other performance measures may also be distorted. For example, factory productivity levels in Mexico may be below those of similar plants in the United States. But American-owned plant productivity in Mexico may be above that of similar Mexican-owned plants, making comparison difficult. Performance metrics in China. There are similarities among all developed nations, but there are also some dramatic differences.